welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I'm recording this while Justice is Great, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Justice is Great Edition, actually released just a few moments ago from when we're recording this. You can see in my reflection, my hot dog, I'm actually having it in the background for now, and I'm definitely gonna continue watching it over and over again after this video. But let's get into the topics for today, including Justice is Great and what went about, the strangeness about went out with that in just a moment. But first, I have to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you to William Francis Colette. Thank you so much for joining as a member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. And also thank you to Liu Fusion Vision Robinson for rejoining as a member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. So I truly appreciate all the members and subscribers here. All right, let's get into the first topic of the day. The first topic of the day is going to be The Flash. The Flash, Ron Livingston is to replace Billy Crudup as Henry Allen. So that's been official now. Ron Livingston, you've probably seen him a lot. I recognize him from Office Space and The Conjuring. That's where and I probably saw him elsewhere as well, but those are ringing out to me. Definitely a great actor. So hope that works out. So I have seen that he's a great actor, and hopefully that works out as playing as Henry Allen alongside Ezra Miller. So which is kind of sad, because Henry Allen was really good. Billy Crudup, rather, was really good in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you saw the connection there. You saw the chemistry there. He's a fantastic actor. It's too bad he didn't have time for this. I think he was doing the morning show, the Morning Glory, or something like that, and Ron Livingston has to be there instead. So it's definitely going to feel a lot different than what was supposed to have come out with Billy Crudup. For another actor who joined The Flash, and this is probably the more important one. There's two other actor and actress as well, but they have undesignated roles, so I felt like I'm not going to report on that. But for this one, Ian Lowe has just been cast as the young Barry Allen in The Flash, filming next month. So we will have a young Barry Allen in here, which is appropriate because, all the other heroes, with the exception of Ray Fisher right now, because he's not having a solo yet, hopefully he gets one soon, they all have the younger counterparts. So it's kind of cool to see now Barry Allen, Ezra Miller's version Barry Allen, getting little youngsters. That probably going to be a very sad little moment in the story, as his mom gets killed and his father goes to prison. It's probably going to be pretty dramatic. I'm wondering how they're going to approach it in contrast, or in comparison to, rather, Grant Gustin's Flash over on CW. And so he looks cute though, and he does look like him, so it's kind of really cool. They're pretty good at finding the younger versions of the actors that are playing these superhero characters. So that is The Flash. The next update is for Black Adam. This is huge. Pierce Brosnan, 007 himself, is to play DC hero Dr. Fate opposite Dwayne Johnson. So Pierce Brosnan is going to play Kent Nelson, the Dr. Fate himself, a very powerful character in DC Universe, part of the Justice Society of America, rounding out the entire cast now for this movie as they're preparing to shoot within a couple weeks. I'm very eager to see the costumes on this. We've seen the concept costumes they have from DC Fandom, but I want to see the actual suits here, and I think we're going to actually see it once they start shooting. I don't know if they're going to have, they should, that's the one pet peeve about all these DC properties, is that even Suicide Squad, they let people look at the behind the scenes, and they don't even show, let's have a nice shoot, a nice magazine cover shoot, so that we're not criticizing the behind the scenes shoots all the time, right? It's put out something decent so that we can have something to look at that says, okay, this is the finished product, this is what it's going to look like, and not just oh, that's cosplay on behind the scenes, that looks terrible, but if it's Michael Wilkinson, which I don't know if that's Michael Wilkinson's doing the costume. If it's Michael Wilkinson, even the behind-the-scenes costumes look absolutely fantastic. But for when it comes to big blockbusters like this, I really wish, just like Matt Reeves' The Batman, I would really wish they would just take the time, do a nice photo shoot, release that, then anything that people get during behind the scenes, that's like, oh, we get it. It's not going to look like that because we've seen what it actually looks like in an actual photo shoot. So is that so hard to ask? I guess not. I guess so. But Pierce Brosnan, that's a big choice. I mean, I remember when people were talking, he was going to be like Alfred in the Batman movie, but that didn't work out. But 007 as Dr. Fate, yeah, that's cool. That's a big name. Bring it on for Black Adam. All right, now let's get into something that we've always wanted, and unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to get, but I really want to get it. There's something in here. This is from Brandon Davis. The original Ben Affleck movie with Deathstroke and Batgirl? What? This sounds amazing. Let's listen in to Mr. Deathstroke here. Joel.
And there was like a big, huge showdown, I think, between, it was like Batgirl. Batgirl jumps in to try to help Bruce because Deathstroke is so fast that he can anticipate Bruce's movements. And there was this huge fight in Gotham City where Batman is like, completely afraid because he realizes he's met someone who can take him. And then that leads to this big climactic battle through the streets of Gotham City at the end. But it was like a real like psychological thriller where Deathstroke was kind of like he was like a horror movie villain, or like a shark, kind of like Jaws, and there was like a.
I am up. Oh man, are you kidding me? That sounds awesome. What? Batman versus Batman actually fears Deathstroke. It's like a horror movie. He's like Jaws. What? And he enlists, and this is the big one, enlists Batgirl. We were going to have Batgirl. Now, I know Zack Snyder has talked about Barbara Gordon in the future and stuff like that, but Batgirl would have been in that movie. Oh my God. It's things like this make you just slap your head because you're like, what the fuck, Warner Brothers? Like, you had something here. I mean, they're always telling like, oh, we should be like Marvel. We got to be like Marvel. Marvel looks successful there. We got to be a shared universe. And they threw away what pretty much was a shared DC cinematic universe. Now they're like, I don't know. We're just going to make movie, and I don't know if they connect to each other, but, we'll just throw it out there, right? They're like throwing darts at a board when you had a board, a dart board that said the Snyderverse on it, and it had everything connected. That was connected. And they would have had the Batgirl already. Batgirl would have shown up. Oh man, but just amazing how that would sound. Batman versus Deathstroke. Who in their right mind would ever not go with that, right? I mean, just oh my God, it's truly frustrating, and I promise that frustration will not go away as I read more of this stuff. Batman versus Deathstroke, what could have been, but also Zack Snyder's Justice League. What it may have turned out, right? And this is coming from Special Effects Magazine. Talks Justice League with Zack Snyder, how a rough version of Snyder Cut was almost released. Now, we talked about this at length, where Warner Brothers was like, no, just throw out the one that you have on your computer. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that, right? Not going to do that. I'm going to throw out the one that, makes it complete, because he emphasizes the studio had this hatred for Batman v Superman. They really hated it. They really hated him, and they wanted to change it up and everything like that. But I'm going to take out an excerpt here, thanks to Walt for pulling this out. But after a while, and after I thought about it, I pitched Warner Brothers what I thought would be a cool way to finish it. If they did have interest in this would be a way to do it. After I finished telling them the story, they watched the movie and they were like, oh wow, there's even more than we thought? Then HBO Max said yes. Now, the interesting part about this is just emphasizing a little bit about the notion that he pitched it to Warner Brothers, but at the end, he doesn't say then Warner Brothers said yes. No, he said then HBO Max said yes. Now, is that interesting? Is that intriguing? It really does go to show you that HBO Max is the one that is liking his stuff. It wasn't Warner Brothers. Like if he had said, Then Warner Brothers said yes, and that would be another thing. But no, he says he pitched it, Warner Brothers, what he thought would be a cool way to finish it. And then at that same table, only HBO Max said yes. Only HBO Max said yes. So that goes to show you right there that even though how successful and whatever, Warner Brothers is being such douchebags and very arrogant, egotistical company that they want to even throw away money, throw away what's good in order to get their point across, you know. So I think that goes to show what that means. But in positive light, that goes to show that HBO Max is the one that has confidence in Zack's work. So I thought I'd share that. Even more frustrations. Well, here it's a little bit about Green Lantern, so I'm going to pull this excerpt here to read. Look, the interference mostly came from the notion that it was a lot of, where are the jokes? This is Zack Snyder talking about the Warner Brothers, okay? Why are you not doing what we're asking? We're not asking for Martian Manhunter. We're asking for comedy, levity. Martian Manhunter, I don't think is that funny. Really? I honestly don't know why I got the pushback regarding Green Lantern. I think that they were just saying they didn't want me doing the Jon Stewart version of Green Lantern in this movie. I was like, well, I don't understand. They're like, well, we're doing it. I'm like, well, when? And also I was like, not to mention the fact that you can cast whoever you want. I cast my guy, you cast your guy, and we'll let the world decide who Green Lantern is. But I was able to leverage that. I said, okay, I'll take him out, but you got to let me replace him with Martian Manhunter, and you got to let me shoot my post-apocalyptic scene. Right? So that is an excerpt. And that is just frustrating, just hearing Warner Brothers, the people in charge of the IP of DC, saying this stuff. Oh, we didn't ask you to put Martian Manhunter. We wanted you to put funny stuff. Put jokes in there. Really? Like, what the fuck? That's so fucking stupid. That is just insane, and I for DC people, you guys gotta be mad. Even though you don't like Zack Snyder stuff, just hearing a studio say that is, don't put that in. Put more jokes. I want to laugh. What? That is insane. I am just like, and I hope this was the original crew, right? The John Berg, Jeff Johns crew. And if this is the same crew that's out right now, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I'm even more pissed. But I don't know. I'm not sure if this was then or now. I'm not sure. But that is just a ridiculous thing for him. And also, yeah, you can cast your guy and cast my guy. It's the multiverse. Just do your version. It's so frustrating, this whole studio situation. It does make me very, very unhappy, and it should make a lot of people unhappy as well. But of course, he said, you know what? If I'm gonna, if you won't make me put Jon Stewart in, I'm gonna quit, because I can't, in my right mind, take out a black guy, a black superhero in here. But thankfully, they let him put Martian Manhunter in there instead. So it makes me think this is more current. But I don't know. If this is more current, I'm gonna be this doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all. Definitely, like I hope this is not the type of language they're talking to the other directors. Like, hey, David F. Sandberg, that's great, but I need some more jokes in there. I need more comedy in there. Like, really? Is that, you go to Matt Reeves? Hey, Robert Pattinson, can you throw in a joke? Can Robert Pattinson throw in a boner joke or something? Just say something about his not being able to pee or something. Can you imagine that? Like, if it wasn't just Zack Snyder, maybe they're just giving Zack Snyder a hard time for some fucking reason, but can you imagine the studio going to each, place and say, hey, you gotta throw in more jokes or something like that? And I don't know if they do that on the Marvel side. That's great. That's Marvel. Just let them do whatever the fuck they're doing. They're doing that already. This is just insane. I don't know. But that is another thing that got me kind of riled up today. But let's get into some positives here. How, we don't have the official numbers about HBO Max subscribers and how many views and stuff like that. I don't know what's taking so long to hold that back when they had 101-84 figures right on Sunday. But instead, on Sunday, they dropped that stupid fucking interview with Ann Sarnoff. But I don't know what's going on, but there are third-party things right now that are showing a little bit of what we can expect from the official numbers if they're ever going to release it. But Michael or Le Sene de Mitchell, I think this is France. So news, the Snyder Cut of Justice League got off to a strong start in France with 100,000 copies sold in 1 week. An absolute record in France proudly signals Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. The film will be available on VOD from March 1st, 31st, and later on DVD, Blu-ray, and Steelbook collectors. So absolutely a phenomenal job. A phenomenal job that they've done over there. 100,000 copies sold in 1 week. A record breaking. It's always record breaking for Zack Snyder's Justice League for some reason, and I don't know why they're blind about that. With all the excitement of the Snyder Cut, we took a quick look at how it's measuring up versus Wonder Woman 1984 and TLDR. What is that? I don't know. It outpaced a Wonder Woman engagement nearly 2 times. So DC releases on HBO Max audience engagement. Zack Snyder's Justice League almost doubled Wonder Woman 1984. Doubled. So that is amazing. That's gotta be, like, to me, I don't know to you, but that's impressive, right? That's gotta be some impressive numbers here. There's gotta be some impressive numbers here. Real Good app, Marvel vs. DC, a battle that makes Captain America Civil War look like a walk in the park. According to this map, Zack Snyder's Justice League ran past Falcon Winter Soldier this weekend and said, "On your left." Hilarious. Did your state come through? Now, I don't know why it's blue and red. It almost looks like, Zack Snyder's Justice League are Democrats and Falcon Winter Soldier are Republicans. I don't know. It's just weird, but whatever. Basically, Zack Snyder's Justice League did dominate the entire state. I'm glad I live in Hawaii. I don't have to move now. People love it in Hawaii, Zack Snyder's Justice League. And, these are the states that love Falcon and Winter Soldier. So which one in that way? So that's interesting. So that's also a winner for Zack Snyder's Justice League. But the one I want to talk about right now, it's definitely important. Heads up, this actually came out, Grace came out with this first. She dropped this all of a sudden. She says, heads up, HBO Max is dropping Justice is Gray version of Snyder Cut tonight at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is like at this recording. And by the time you watch this, it's already out. So you can please go ahead and watch that. I have it out right now on my TV. It's at the Wonder Woman, taking on the terrorist moment of that. She just threw the bomb up there. So looks absolutely amazing. But anyway, so that is dropping. And we're like, really? What? Nobody said anything else. Like the Snyder Cut account didn't do anything. The Justice League, and by the time you read, maybe they did, but when I'm recording this, they didn't. And especially when before this even dropped, they didn't even announce a drop. They didn't say it's coming out in a few hours, whatever. It just all of a sudden happened. And then Zack Snyder all of a sudden just goes on Vero and plugs a little clip, a 2-minute clip of Zack Snyder's Justice League, Justice is Gray edition, and it was about, it showed you, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. I'm pretty sure you already have watched it. It's not playing, but it's the one where you see the end of the world, Cyborg's vision, and you see Aquaman die, you see Wonder Woman's death, Lois is charred and stuff like that. So it's definitely alluding to the ending, right? It's alluding to the future stuff, right? And so he puts that Justice is Gray is on HBO Max, dropping tonight at midnight. Hardcore, don't delete, put it on repeat, AFSP. Now you gotta wonder, like, why did he put that? Why is he putting that out? And what this means is don't delete HBO Max. Don't unsubscribe from HBO Max. Put the movie on repeat, either the Justice is Gray or the color version, whichever you want. Put it on repeat. This is how it should be done. Let's blow it up. Let's blow it the fuck up. Let's just keep watching that thing, and tell everybody to watch that thing. Share it publicly. Go out there. Tell people that they need to sign on. Keep subscribed to HBO Max. There's another version of Justice League out right now. It looks very classy with the gray, the monochrome edition, and definitely watch it. Or keep watching the original one. And you may be wondering, like, what's up with that? Why are we doing this, right? So a fan asked Fakuna, I just need to know if there's still hope. Are we still fighting at Zack Snyder? And he says, by watching it and getting others to watch. Yeah, so there's still hope. He knows what we're talking about. He's been liking Restore the Snyderverse Vero posts, even my videos, left and right, everywhere he can get it. And he's definitely pretty much saying to us that, hey, you know how to restore the Snyderverse? The solution is don't delete HBO Max. Put Zack Snyder's Justice League on repeat. Keep watching. Watch this version, watch the colored version, whenever it's possible. But Zack is putting it out right now. I just need to know if there's still hope. Are we still fighting? He says yes. Pretty much by watching it and getting others to watch it too. So that is very important. In fact, this was a post that I wanted to share yesterday. I couldn't find it. But Jacob Torres had posted, don't cancel your HBO Max subscription. If we want Zack Snyder's Justice League to rise more, we have the numbers rise. If you want Restore the Snyderverse, we keep playing the rules. Warner Brother never faced us all, not us united. Zack Snyder's Justice League, Snyderverse, Snyder Cut, and Zack Snyder says, that's right. That's right. That's how it's done. That's the only way we can show them that we mean business. Not only our voice, not only our social medium, but including the actual numbers that they can analytically see on HBO Max. Those are the numbers. Remember what Debbie Snyder had said. In order to approach this conversation, they looked up Netflix. They looked up this whole all the analytics and things like that to prepare their data to gather that information and to show the execs that, hey, this was successful and things like that. I'm almost wondering if they had to do that third party, and I hope not. I hope people over on HBO Max side, especially Jason Kylar, are pulling up numbers themselves, and I really hope they're actually doing that. And to me, everything is pointing to HBO Max is the only way to restore the Snyderverse at this moment. And we have to help him. Zack is putting this out. Zack is saying, let's do it. You guys want this restore the Snyderverse? You guys got to show up. And we got to show up. And thankfully, we have mainstream show up. But still yet, we're still fighting. I know it's hard. I don't know why we have to fight for every freaking content we have to love. I don't know why Warner Bros. Makes it difficult for customers, right? They're treating customers as outcasts. Like, that is so fucking frustrating right now. I am like livid. Why would they treat paying customers to fight for the content they want? The content they love, content that creators like Zack Snyder is prepared to make, and they just have to say, yes! Why are we fighting for this? This should be easy. We are making the numbers. We're trending. We're putting the people love it. The critics are loving it. People outside the fandom are loving it. They're even calling for a sequel. Like all these people. Leslie Jones, for crying out loud, is calling for a sequel. Like, this is frustrating to no end, but it's like we have to always get past their ego for some reason and show them the numbers. It's like things that wouldn't even think would have a sequel gets a fucking sequel. You know, I mean, it's like I didn't know that movie even came out and that had a sequel. You know, it's just it's unbelievable. So how much we have to get through this, but we are. You know, we're definitely going to do this, especially with the Justice Great edition that's pulling on right now. Steppenwolf is taking on Themyscira. We're really cool, but I don't know what to say. This is the only way we can do it, and Zack is pretty much telling us how we're going to do it right now, and we're definitely going to play by their rules. That's the only rules. That's the only thing they know is the numbers that are on HBO Max, you know? So that's how we're going to have to play it. But that's not all. Putting this out there, tomorrow or today, by the time you see this, pretty much today, on the 25th March 2021, UTC 2:14 p.m. Regional timings is, I'll just go with my time, 6:14 a.m., which is like in a few hours from when you see this. Let's hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Ready the hashtags. We'll use the old ways. Just like what Darkseid said at the end of the movie, right? Ready the Armada. We'll use the old ways. And this is the way we can do it. So restore the Snyderverse. But not only that, continue to watch for 24 hours, even more, and all the way through the weekend. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Justice is Gray edition. This is our weekend to show up. If any weekend, this would be another weekend to show up. Just like last weekend, Do it again. Let's watch it over and over. Let's tell people to watch it and support Zack Snyder's Justice League, because by the time Wednesday shows up, Godzilla vs. Kong is going to come out, which will probably take a chunk of it, absolutely. And absolutely, if you want to watch Godzilla vs. Kong, I am, because my kid's definitely going to want to watch Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm a Godzilla fan. I'm definitely going to watch it. But right after, I'm probably going to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League again. So make sure that is... Show HBO Max, this is your Mandalorian. Hey, HBO Max, this is your Mandalorian, man. The Snyderverse is your Mandalorian. We can't wait to see Season 2. Just like we're waiting to see Season 3 of The Mandalorian or Season 2 of The Mandalorian. We want to see the second season or Part 2, whatever you want to call it, for the next film in the Snyderverse. We want to see the spin-offs as well. There is a viable customer fan base here that wants your content, willingly paying for content, willingly watching this content. Why are you not giving that content to these paying customers? Like, that, to me, does not make sense. So I'm, a lot of verified people. Freaking, there was a K-pop singer who has like 5.1 million followers. I retweeted that one out. Who actually supports the Snyder Cut? It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, this is going farther than mainstream that we've ever known. And with that in mind, it's like, how could you not see the gold mine you have right here? Like, why? But anyway. Part of that frustration is just knowing business in general, in terms of, about customers and trying to find solutions to problems. The problem is not many people are excited for the DCU, but they're very excited for the Snyderverse. Why aren't you providing the solution to that problem? And this is, it just blows my mind. But anyway, tomorrow, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Justice is Gray. Check it out. Let's do all of that. Let's make sure we cover all our bases and continue to support and market Zack Snyder's Justice League, even if Warner Brothers doesn't want to. All right. Well, let's get into the members' comments and questions now. Right here. Let's start off with Grandson of Soul. The interview is so full of hypocrisy and cringe. There's a lot of ego involved, but also Sarnoff and company doesn't understand the first thing about the multiverse concept. You can still do all that you want to do and have the Snyderverse. Exactly. I swear it's like Warner Brothers is stuck in Bizarro World or something. And in regards to her comments about not tolerating toxic fan behavior, true, there are toxic fans out there and the behavior is unacceptable, but what about the toxic behavior from your own executives? Are we not going to address that, or are we going to gloss over it? Remember when Ann Sarnoff first came along and we thought she'd be the Snyder Cut savior? How times have changed indeed. Yeah, she's totally fed into that Emmerich stuff. And I agree. They talk about the toxic behavior of fans, but you know who created that toxic behavior? Them! They created it. They created it by getting Wall Street Journal to put out that fucking article years ago saying that the Snyder Cut was a pipe dream. It's a fantasy world. It doesn't exist. They did that. They created toxic fandom. And then now they're going to turn it back and say, oh, the toxic fandom are trying to hurt us. You made them. You made them. Of course, I don't support people giving death threats and stuff like that. Absolutely not. But don't lie and say you've never knew that was going to happen. You created that. You created that. You made the toxic fandom. You made them. You got to live with that now. You got to live with that now. You created a toxic fandom, and now you can turn around and blame them for going at you? You created them. Watch Godzilla vs. Kong today. Chris, as a MonsterVerse fan, you're going to love it. All right. I know I am. My son, I told him to get off YouTube because he's like pulling up these clips of spoilers. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to see that. I don't want to be spoiled. And he's like, and I'm telling you, stop watching it. But whatever. Disney Pound, haha, Chris, you win. Oh, yeah. This is one of my funny stories. Yeah, if you want to check that out, it's kind of... I was hoping the thumbnail would have been the first scene so that it gets you, wondering, but whatever. Where's the Daily Show, Chris? I missed it this morning. I know. So YouTube it was stuck in processing, and I put it in public, and when I woke up, it was still processing, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I had to republish it, and which is frustrating. YouTube, it makes me mad. But yeah, I apologize for that. YouTube, man, I don't know. Hopefully this one will go out okay. Also, I have another theory. We know Batman is the cause of Deathstroke's son dying. So what if his son was Robin and he blames him for putting him in that lifestyle? You saw he asked Batman why he bring him there, so sounds like history there too. Your thoughts? Deathstroke did have a son, in the comics and, the animated or even the Titans. So that is not the same. I don't think that was Robin. There is a Deathstroke son, so I think that's just how that went about that. So in fact, it's kind of funny because it's almost like they took that kind of storyline and put it on Titans instead, and having instead of Nightwing, it's Batman. So I'm wondering. Damn, and Jeff Johns knew about the Batman story and the Batman versus Deathstroke story. I wonder if he stole that story and threw it onto Titans. I'm starting to wonder. But the bell's already been rung, and the mainstream moviegoers have heard it. Jason Kyler, is hungry. He found us, and he's coming. I hope so. He tweeted out that today was a good morning, and I'm hoping that means something good, but we'll see. Aquaman says, you're out of your mind, Chris Wong. Love it. Heroes don't want the darkness. Diana's presence, as she said, for hope. I think the interview is similar to her presence in Justice League. Walter Brothers Multiverse will always... Warner Brothers, I said Walter Brothers. Warner Brothers Multiverse will always be in Zack Snyder's and Kevin Feige's multiverse's rear view mirrors. Restore the Snyderverse. Keep faithful and hopeful. Helen Mirren is quite simply one of the greatest actresses of all time, and it's worth noting she was Morgan Le Fay in Excalibur. Because of the latter, it would have been nice link where Zack to have cast her as Grand and Goodness. Oh, that would have been cool. Here, her being a villainess in Shazam kind of ends that, but nonetheless, love that we're going to see her in the DCEU regardless. Yeah. I mean, you got Kieran Hines, you got more, they're all coming back. To be fair to Gal Gadot, I think she's more thinking about a scene where we see her dying in itself, as in permanently. I'm sure were Zack to explain the scenario to her, she'd be all for what he's got planned. You know what? One of the questions I've always wanted to ask Zack, and I'm wondering if I ever could, probably good. Did the actors, did they all know where the story was headed? Like, did they all, like, aside from Ben Affleck, like, did Gal know where the story was headed? Did they all know, like, this is what was going to happen, and they're all going to come back and everything like that? I wonder about that. I absolutely want to see full-on extended cut versions of Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League. One of the coolest DVD collections I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing is the collection of every single cut of Blade Runner. And I love a similar collection, the Snyderverse Extended Editions. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we could. Do we need Zack to continue his universe, or do we just want his universe's story to continue? I'm happy with the story to continue. Zack doesn't necessarily have to make it. He can contribute as a producer and keep his story on track, but Warner Brothers can still continue with their plans, but include Zack's. If Zack isn't involved, it's going to be a Batman Returns, Batman and Robin situation. They tried to turn that universe into a cheesy camp one, and look how that turned out. No, we want Zack to be able to continue his universe Zack's way. That's what we want. Because, if, like you said, if Warner Brothers is included at any rate, they're gonna fuck it up. They're definitely gonna fuck it up, and I'm really convinced by that. So no, we want Zack to be able to continue his universe his way, at his own little separate, away from what they're doing, because they're never going to allow him to be part of it, and we're going to have to live with that. But that doesn't mean he can't just continue on his own arc, continue his own universe, right? That, let it live on HBO Max. That's the platform that been chosen for it, and I think that is for his long form narrative. And then he could be producer and have him produce today Ray Fisher was on Comic Book Debate, and he said, and they asked him, what director would you want for Cyborg if there was ever to come by? And he said Rick Famuyiwa, and I was like, oh, the dude who was gonna direct The Flash. I wouldn't want to see what that would have been about, but if he could get Rick doing that, and he was awesome as a director for the Mandalorian episodes, really good, really awesome. I would love love to see that. Like, I would love to see him do that. And can you imagine if Zack Snyder produced that and Rick is the director of Cyborg with Ray Fisher? That would be awesome. On HBO Max, yes, please, sign me up. Let's do it. Chris, regarding whether or not we care about certain franchises, I'll say this. If you are speaking about them, we are interested. We are with you, brother. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you. Also, without being rude, I feel like Patty and now seemingly Gal have a pretty limited understanding of Wonder Woman. Yes, she is about compassion and peace, but she isn't all about that. She isn't shy about taking heads. She isn't a hippie. Maxwell's Lord, neck snap, maybe? Anyone? Yeah, so like the more I think about it, I'm wondering if she's just reacting to what Patty Jenkins' view of Wonder Woman would be. But if there is any slightest possibility, it's like, okay, this director wants this Wonder Woman to be that, then she'll share that same for that, because it was a Wonder Woman 84 panel. Clearly they don't want to have that type of Wonder Woman for that Wonder Woman 84 panel and that movie. So I think that's what it was about. So, but it still was hilarious nonetheless. Zack said in an interview he had an excellent actor playing Jon Stewart in the scene. So it sounds like he definitely shot the scene with him, not a stand-in. Yeah, could. And you know, I know there was that one thing that came out today. Trevante Rhodes was Green Lantern rumored on fandom by Fandom Wire, and I think, isn't it Andy Signore's page? I don't know, but Dave Pena, the film junkie, shot that down, and I would trust him because I definitely just trust him about Snyder Cut at this point. He's been right. So he said, nope, that's not the case. So I would trust him at this point. But we'll wait and see. Zach will probably reveal in due time. I don't know when. I don't know who. But maybe, they keep hinting about Grace having something coming up. So let's be on the lookout for Grace Randolph. I think Zach and Grace may have something maybe coming down the pipeline, maybe, because those Dave and Garza kept mentioning that. So I'm wondering, some goodies come in, right? And Grace did drop Justice is Great before Zach even dropped it, so that goes to show you she's more in the know about the Snyder Cut than most people give her credit for. Maybe Ann Sarnoff will campaign for HBO Max to not release the numbers. Yeah, it's starting to... I don't know why it's taking this long to see the numbers. You would think something is wrong. Something is not right. I thought Warner Bros. At that time dropped Tim Burton because his Penguin was deemed too scary and McDonald's complained. With Burton out, so was Keaton. Warner Bros. Executives have no backbones, not then, and clearly, certainly not now. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's interesting. That sounds like something that McDonald's would do. And you know what? It was a little bit kind of scary, especially for children at that time. So that could be it, because they were all about toys, and that's why you got Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, right? Chris, thank you for sending me straight regarding HBO Max. In regards to BVS Remastered, I'm hearing two different things. One, it's the 4K only, and it's two, it's 4K Blu-ray combo. Anyway, could you clarify this for me? I don't currently have a 4K player, and I'm getting concerned. It is only 4K because I pre-ordered it, and I thought I was in the ones that got it early, but no, it's gonna be delivered in May. Holy shit, like that thing's been back ordered 2 months. I'm like, what? For a movie that's 5 years old, it's back ordered 2 months? Crazy, right? So I'm gonna wait for that. But I looked at the box and it did say 4K only, right? 4K plus digital, and so yeah, unfortunately, unless you have the digital, you can get the digital code for that. But in order to see the disc, it's actually 4K, yeah. Because if you do the Blu-ray, then it goes to the Ultimate Edition, which is not the one that has the IMAX scenes, I believe. Hey, Chris, I recently noticed Diana's sword changes after exiting the Flying Fox. It kept switching back and forth with a different sword during the final battle. Do you think Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be polished up for the Blu-ray to fix any CGI errors, or is this final form of the movie? Oh, I don't know, I didn't even see that. So when I watch, by the time, it'll still be playing. I'm gonna look out for that. I'm gonna look out for that sword. I'm gonna look out for that sword indeed. And that's it. That's the last question. So, all right. Well, that is it. Right? You know, when you watch this, you probably Zach's. You know, it was probably 4 hours since that Justice is Great edition dropped. So make sure you definitely support that. Definitely watch that. As you can see a little bit of Joe Morton. Not Joe Morton. That's Joe Morton's right there. So. That scene there in the Star Labs is playing right there. But I'm definitely going to go and watch that right after this video. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you absolutely like this daily entertainment news and content, please click the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and tomorrow, hashtag Restore the Snyderverse, watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, watch Justice is Great Edition every time you can, you know, like as much as you can, as what I'm trying to say, as much as possible, as much as you can, every moment that is free, watch on a repeat. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.